Okay, this one's going to be a bit more off the cuff, less of a plan. But I've just finished a long weekend trip with a group of entrepreneurs, if you've seen videos from the last few days, staying at this palatial villa in Uluwatu, Bali. Halfway home to Canggu right now, and I've stopped at the coolest Starbucks I've ever been to. It has its own coffee growing garden, which let me just show you. It's got its own coffee growing garden just down here. And then beneath us, it's got its own roastery and experience place. And the chocolate here, the hot chocolate is insanely good. Best I've ever had in Starbucks because they actually use chocolate. Big win. Anyway, back to the topic of the conversation today. I wanted to share with you just a thought I was having about what do my friends that we've just been away with have in common compared with my friends back home who are still in a 9 to 5. Nothing wrong with it, just different goals and aspirations. I think the biggest thing I've noticed this weekend is that as a group of people and as individuals, we've detached, they have, or rather, something I've noticed, detached their ego from their identity. And what I mean by that is they are entirely willing to admit that they don't know, or that the way that they're currently doing things or thinking about things might not be the best way. Which just leaves you with a lot of open opportunity to think things through and say, okay, what if? You're telling me something different, and I admire the way what you've done, and I know that you are smart and you have achieved things in your life, so let me listen to you. And then we talk it through. And that got me into thinking what's different about them compared to most of the people I've ever employed. And I think the biggest thing that I'm struggling with at the moment is life to me is kind of like a game of chess where you figure out if this happens, then what happens because of that? And having the opportunity to really think through that, or rather the skill to foresee what happens, is super, super helpful in sales, but in business and life generally, just to be like, okay, and so you don't necessarily have to take everything at face value in terms of feelings, emotions, situations. You can actually be like, okay, cool, and what? It helps you with planning and just everything in terms of business generally. And also, you think about it like, if you want a pay rise in a job, okay, if I do this great thing and then they make 10 times more money, and am I likely to get a job? Yeah, probably. Or am I likely to get a pay rise? Yeah, probably. Because you've just given someone more value. So my biggest takeaway from this is the mentality that I'm noticing entrepreneurs have is one, humility, two, open-mindedness, three, the ability to logically connect and what next. And then fourth, this is the massive one of it's all useless and nothing will ever happen if you don't do stuff. Actually implement plans and actions that you talk about. It's all well and good talking, but if you never actually get anything done, nothing ever happens, period. Outputs, inputs are required for any sort of output. Like things aren't just going to be thrown your way. Life doesn't work that way. Um, so there you go. If you want to practice a skill, think about how things are connected and think what happens if this happens, then what follows, then what follows, then what follows, and just keep going in that way. Be open to change, and be willing to put stuff into action. There you go. Thoughts for you before I jump on a sales training, and then head back home for the evening. Have a great day, guys. Hopefully that one was fun. Peace. Bye.